impactfoodhub.inpontu.com or dial star 899 star 112 hash. Call 025-689-9305 for inquiries. Supported by Absa Bank, Gruber Diaspora Network, Casmo Foods, Yogi Yogurt, Next Computers, Impontu Technologies, Hendy Farms, Waysoy, Curate MKTG, and Gold Coast Foods, Herbs and Spices. Media partners, Channel 1 TV and Citi FM. Impact Food Hub. Get to the heart of it. Launchpad 2026. Your agribusiness reimagined.
Citi 97.3.
Accra.
Citi 97.3.
Accra.
94, 95, 96.
97.3.
94, 95, 96.
97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. Citi News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
At 5 p.m. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. I am Sami Wiafe. Coming up in tonight's edition of the show.
On the 30th, Yakogo to bury my late father. 31st of July, about Independence Square, Ababe funeral service. Now on the 8th of August, Yakobi Abakumase Asantimemu, Yabaye Nasia, sorry. Until Pia or CM Maso, the case is on the 30th, Ebebaso.
The never-ending disagreement in the Apostle Kojo Safo family over who has the right to bury the king of the Kantanka family. Tonight, we hear the latest twist on this matter. Also coming up on Eyewitness News, 4 trader unions call out shipping lines over what they describe as disregard to judgments of Ghana's courts. And later, we hear the outcome of a planned meeting between the GPRTU and the Transport Ministry over threat to increase fares on the back of fuel price increments. Stay with us for the next 2 hours as we bring you all these stories and the latest in the world of business, as well as talk back where the views and opinions you express on the stories we bring you tonight on Eyewitness News will be read out to you. And to be a part of the talkback segment on Eyewitness News, I encourage you to send your WhatsApp messages to the number 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. Let's start with our first story and start from the Apostle Kojo Safo family, where we understand some disagreements over who has the right to bury the king of the Kantanka Empire. Yesterday, one of the sons, or the son of the late Apostle Kojo Safo, held a press conference in respect of the date for the burial of Apostle Kojo Safo. Today, it's a different story. Joining us now is Sarah Adwoa Safo, the former member of parliament for the Dom Kwabinya constituency. Sarah, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me too. By His grace, I am still alive and I'm grateful.
Have you recovered fully, or you are still recovering from the incident that happened some few weeks or months ago?
I would say I am okay for now. I still have one more surgery to go through, but I have to come and give my late father, a befitting burial, and then after that I will go and undertake that endeavor as well. And so I'm okay. I'm fit to do it for now, and then later I will just go and finish it up.
And that's supposed to be done outside the country or here in Ghana?
As you know, I started my treatment here in Ghana, so they did their best. I'm grateful to the doctors that were there at the moment. At a point in time, I had to be flown out because I had to take a number of head surgeries to take out bullets and pellets around my head, the left side of my head, and my face. And my right arm also had some of the pellets and some of
could you just take us back on this particular incident that is resulting in these surgeries that you've embarked on, and the last one that you're supposed to go and do, but then because of your dad's funeral, you have to come back to Ghana?
Okay, thank you. And I have to greet your valued listeners that are listening to us, and then the various sympathizers across the country, across the world, that are lovers of my late father, the members of the Cristo Asafo Mission, which is the church that was founded by my late father. I don't know where to start, but when the old man passed, my father, Apostle Professor Emeritus Kojo Safo, passed, there was a bit of a disagreement as to who becomes the next leader of the church. The church my father was alive drafted and actually launched the constitution of the church sometime in 2017. That was the first constitution, 2017-2018. And in that constitution, in Article 26, he actually purported to groom my younger brother, Israel Kojo Safo, and stated that in the event he is not there, he's grooming him to lead the church in his absence or when he passes. Later on in 2024, my late father, before he passed in 2025, amended the earlier constitution. And in the amendment, subsequent amendment that he did, he categorically in Article 12 repealed Article 26, the earlier article in the earlier constitution that said that he was grooming my younger brother, Israel Kojo Safo. And in the new amendment that was done in 2024, he actually opened it up and said he has 3 sons. And out of the 3 sons, one could lead the church. We can choose any of them to lead the church. But then in Article 12 that I earlier quoted, he repealed 26, and he categorically mentioned my younger brother's name, Israel Kojo Safo, and then a claimed name that he has put on himself, Nana Kojo Akofena. So he did not miss his words. He used the birth name he gave my brother, Israel Kojo Safo, a.k.a. Nana Kojo Akofena, which is his name that he has chosen on this earth for himself, so that we don't confuse which of the brothers he was specifically excluding. And in Article 12 of the 2024 Constitution of the Cristo Asafo Mission of Ghana, he categorically said, my son that I earlier named in Article 26, I was grooming to lead the church, I repeal, cancel, and amend Article 26, and subsequently said, I open it up. So if you read those 2 constitutional provisions, what it states is, he opened it up to 3 boys, 3 of his sons. But the repeal and cancellation, specifically and explicitly mentioning that brother of mine, Israel Kojo Safo, excludes him from the 3. So it's left with 2 that we have to choose from. So the church was a bit divided on who they want to lead the church. And I want to state on authority and to clarify all that misconception, all that character assassination that they've paid people to do in the media, that I wanted to lead the church. I have never been pastor material. Let me put it that way, strictly speaking. He has always grown me to be a politician, and that is why you have seen me on the political scale for a number of years. I was in Parliament for 12 years. Even before that, I contested and I lost my first time, and I still stayed in politics. I am a politician. I am not a pastor. I am not a leader. But before his passing, he installed me as the queen mother of the church, meaning that I am the mother of the church in its absence, and he did that in 2024 after he did the constitutional amendment. So in the event he passes, I am just a neutral body. I am just a neutral person to ensure that the right thing is done, so that 2 of my brothers that are now left, when we open it up in the 2024 Constitution, I would ensure I would make sure, I would advise the council, I would advise the church, so that we would be able to choose somebody that will lead the church. So my brother said he has gathered some church people. They're going to do another installment. He was installed by my father in the 2017-2018. He says he's doing another one. So I was going to his house as the elder sister of his, just to talk him through it. That there is one part of the church had actually filed for an injunction against his installation. So the pressure of me, the calls that were coming, and it was a weekend. So I was like, let me just go to this guy's house and then tell him that with the confusion about installation and everything, we haven't even buried the old man. Take your time. If it is that you want, we can sit down, talk about it. Those who are even against it, we will have there's always a way to negotiate and to talk about, even when you feel that you've been excluded. But he thinks that he wants to do things his own way. So he gathered church people. We have a cathedral that we usually do these installations and hold church functions. They decided not to because the other group had actually asked for assistance from the police to implement or to execute that injunction order by the court. So they abandoned our cathedral, the known place for such functions. And then he had his own tent behind his house with some elders of the church and some few church members, and said that he has been installed. So I went there just to talk him out of that process, which was an illegality, because there's a court injunction against it. A whole section of the church is against what you're doing. We don't want that brouhaha before we bury the old man. I get to his gate. They opened me halfway through and asked me. I said, I'm looking for my brother. All I heard from behind was, finish him, kill him, shoot him. And you saw the videos. It's not my video. It was somebody in there who took the video, and it was so clear. You could hear their voices. Orders that they should kill me, finish her, kill her. And that is exactly what happened. I went there unarmed. I want to put on authority. I went there without a policeman or a bodyguard, a private bodyguard. I didn't go there dressed up. I was in my flip-flops. I was in Chaliwati. I was in a t-shirt and I was in a cap, thinking I was going to my brother's house, because 3 weeks before that, he had been to my office. We've had a brotherly and sisterly chat. We've had a discussion about his children, and I said, I'm going to help out, and I did help him out with school fees and other stuff. These are things I don't want to talk about. So we didn't have an acrimonial relationship that you say, I'm going there and I'll think my brother will shoot and order his boys or his thugs to shoot me. I didn't. And that's exactly what happened on that D-Day.
Could it be that he was not aware, or he wasn't aware of the actions that took place outside the building where you were? Maybe he wasn't aware. His boys decided to do such a thing without him not knowing. Could it be?
Have you heard him say anything like that in the media? No. And for the records, I am not blind. I can see clearly when I see my brother standing there, and I can see it when he shoots. I see it when he goes back into his house and orders his boys to shoot at me, and they indeed follow his instructions. So I won't lie, and I won't do anything just to put him behind bars, or what do I stand to gain? But there's something I want to say, which is that if you are not aware, if the people did not intend to actually cause harm or take my life away from me, which in law we call mens rea, if you don't have the intention to kill, the intention to commit a crime, it can be, 2 bullets, it was a mistake. But the police report will tell you that they shot into my car and they counted 48 bullets in my car. You can't say that you did not intend to harm, you did not intend to murder, you did not intend to shoot at me and kill. 48 bullets, it is only by His grace that I am alive, and I will not die. I will live to declare the works of the Lord. He is not the one to kill me. I've been at the edge of death, and God has taken and given back my life to me. So he's not the one, or any of his thugs are not the ones to take my life away from me. All I'm seeking is justice. All I'm seeking from whoever, from the investigative authorities, from the Attorney General's department, where the docket I'm told to be sent to, all I'm asking for, if I were their sister. Your people started and said they wanted to put me on Zoom. You know what I told them? I said, you don't want to see how I'm looking right now. So all I'm asking, if I were their sister, if I were their brother, their wife, if I were their sibling, would they say that somebody is above the law, and so that person can order and shoot, and then they also follow suit and shoot at me mercilessly, ruthlessly?
There were allegations that you also, shot at them. There were some allegations to the extent that you even ran your vehicle in the gates of the main building. When
people concoct lies and they fabricate lies, they need to think about corroborating those lies so that it looks properly like a truth they're telling. That house is my father's house. And anybody that knows that house knows that it is that real kind of gate, that rail. So it's not the one that you open in and out. It's a rail. And usually when it gets rusty, you can actually raise or take out that gate from the rail, grease it up, and put it back. So I was shocked when I went through a bit of treatment, and our youngest brother was telling me, they said I ran into a gate and then the gate had fallen off. And he was like, this is a gate that we always take out and greet. And my car is my evidence. My car is still in police custody, and you're a journalist, you can go there. It was a Prado, and it had no metal guarding in front of the car. Usually these Land Cruisers and stuff, they have these guards, metallic guards in front of them. So when you hit, it won't even touch the bumpers or the front lights. I don't have those bumpers, metallic bumpers on that Prado of mine. So if indeed I hit into your car and your gate at your sleep, my headlights should break. There should be a dent on the front part of my car to show that there was some force I used on your gate. Nothing like that, and you can verify. Number two, when they are concocting lies and trying to tarnish the image of people that have earned reputation, hard-earned reputation, we work for it. We don't ride on the glory of our fathers. We try to build our own reputation. When they try to ruin that, they should think twice. I was a member of parliament. I have been in politics for close to 20 years. I started when I was 25 years, and I think I exited when I was about 42. I lost my first election, primaries. I was in parliament for 12 years. The most prone area, the most place that people can be violent and a breeding ground for violence and for shooting and for pulling out guns is during election or electoral processes. I led the largest constituency in this country, the first female. I led that constituency through subsequent elections, first, second, third, 3 consecutive elections. And there has been no past record of mine being violent, pulling out a gun in a polling station. So even if you want to tarnish my image and it appears before any jury or any public court, the first question you have to ask, let's go into her past records. Let's go into her character. Is she violent? Do we have any incidents of her being violent? If I couldn't be violent in politics and pull out a gun in any polling station, though my constituency was one of the controversial constituencies every time there's an election, why would I go unarmed, without a security man, without a policeman, without my driver, in flip-flops, in Chalawati, in front of my brother's house? And you think that is what I'm going to pull a gun? It just doesn't add up. I am not the type. I have never held a gun. I'm putting it on record. I have never held a gun, owned a gun, or shot at anybody ever in my life. Even when I was abroad studying, I wasn't part of the people who had fantasies about hunting. And so they would go and train us to how to go into the bush and hunt. I have never hunted in my life. It's not even an animal, who are also considered people or creatures that have rights. I don't even want to shoot them. How much more go into my own brother's house and shoot? And again, let me make this point. Even if you claim I run into, which is false, I run into your gate, and as a way of self-protection, as a way of self-defense, you shoot 48 bullets in my car because your gate, which is not even the case. That would amount to excessive harm. It is not proportionate to what you think that harm I'm about to cause to you. And so you reacted in that way. It won't stand the test of any law in any law court. That I break your gate, or I try to break your gate, and so you shoot at me 48 times. You know, my brother, you know what saved my life that day? And I'm grateful to the God that I serve, the God that sent my father to do wonders in this country and beyond these borders, was that I drove that day myself. Because if you look at where the bullets were targeted, they thought someone was driving the car and I was behind, acting like the usual madam behind the car. But that day was a Sunday. It was a very free day. My workers don't work on a Sunday. I drove myself. And I didn't have any wigs or any braids on. You know, when we put on our wigs, we usually do cornrows and, you know, before we put on the wigs to look extra beautiful. Pardon me if I'm going off board. But that day, I didn't even feel like putting on a wig. So I have this Michael Kors cap. I usually wear them on weekends when I just want to lazy around. So I wore that cap, and I was in my shorts and a t-shirt, flip-flops. And so I don't know from where they were standing. I don't know whether they thought it was somebody else driving, and I was behind in my usual wig and looking pretty. And so their target was not at the driver. And that is what saved my life. And I'm grateful to God for that.
Okay, Adjoa, this part of it is in court, so we will not want to go into details. Now, let's talk about the funeral arrangement, because we've seen billboards in town announcing the 30th of July, 31st of July, and the 8th of August 2026 as the dates, the various dates for the funeral. Tell us about the funeral arrangements.
Okay, thank you very much. The funeral arrangement has been ongoing since October, when we had the 40 days of observance for my father, my late father. And my father is from a royal background, from the Ashanti region. And so for a royal of his caliber, we couldn't have done anything without consulting the king of Ashanti Kingdom, Otumfuo Tutu II. So myself, my family, and my other siblings had to go back and forth from the palace, trying to seek clearance, getting direction, seeking advice on how to proceed and everything. And we went back and forth from Accra to Kumasi for God knows how long. And finally, the king agreed and thought that we had put a number of things in place, and so approved a date for us. So I want to state again, and to the hearing of those who have pretended they did not hear, that date is not my date. That date is from the palace. So if you seek to change it, go and challenge that authority in Ashanti Kingdom that you don't want your father to be buried that day. So we came back, the same funeral committee that I put together that planned the 40 days observance of my late father, because he categorically said we should observe 40 days for him after his passing and not the traditional 1 week. So after that, I set up the committee that did the same thing. I asked them to continue with the planning. I am not part of the committee. My other siblings are. My brother, who is seeking to call it off, is also not a member of the committee. Other siblings are. We have members of the family. We have members of the church who constitute that funeral. So they plan everything, have a report, and then if there are any monetary obligations, then I take it up. So it is not as if I sit in the comfort of my room, four-cornered room, and plan everything. I cannot have all the sense or the wisdom in the world. So I have men and women dedicated and committed to making this funeral a befitting one for our late father, because they have all been, he has been a blessing to all of them. And they have worked excellently. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of them and to say that we are almost at the end of the tunnel. No giving up at this point. So we put together everything. We've been doing it over 8 months. The church leadership informed myself and my siblings. They want to honor the old man. They want to build a cathedral. They want to build a museum so that we bury him in it. I allowed it. And that has prolonged the whole process, because they had to do the construction, and we had to give them time to do that, because much as he is our father, he was father for all. He was father for the church. He was father for a number of people who were needy and had benefited from it. So I gave him that leeway. I gave them that leeway. And constantly, they misrepresented that to say I have intentionally delayed the burial of my father. But I would say that I cannot do that, and I cannot disregard anybody who thinks my father has been a blessing and they want to honor him. And my father also, when he was alive, stated categorically that I want to be buried in a big mansion. I want to be buried in a museum so that children yet unborn, children that are coming up can come in there and learn about the things I came to do, put some of my old cards in the museum and write something about me. He said it. And so I couldn't have denied the church that opportunity. We're going through all that. There are videos, there are reportages. Ever since we started inviting dignitaries, started publicizing the date for the funeral, everywhere that we have gone, as siblings, as family, my brother has failed and or neglected to be a part of it. He had never been part of it from the 40 days observation planning, but yet on that day, he was the first to take it.
You said that he has failed to be a part of it. Is it that you don't involve him? Or
we have a family platform. We have a family
platform.
We have a family platform for all the siblings. He is on it. Sometimes I go an extra mile to send a message through one of the pastors who is very close to him, our last boy, who's also in contact with him constantly, that I want him to be there. He won't be there. He won't turn up. He won't add a dime. But on the day, he will come and sit, and he'll be the first with bloggers, with media people, and come there. Recently, a billboard I have mounted with my own money. He said the president said we should clean our frontage. So we organized boys, and he was cleaning the frontage. He went and stood behind one big, huge billboard around the Achimota area where the church's headquarters is. Stood there and bowed and wrote beneath it and paying last respect that I'm grateful. But he does not have an idea where that billboard came from, where the money came from. All he has to do is to appear and take pictures and say, this is my father's billboard, I'm paying my last respect. Excuse me, there are people that have planned. There are people that have spent money over this period of time to engage people, to get the best people to do decors, to get best people to cook for the occasion, to get cloth, customized cloth for my father's burial. None of it you are aware of. None of it you've been part of. None of it you have decided to even spend a dime on. Then you go and sit in one of my father's homes and sit on a chair and purport to be who you claim to be, which you were injuncted and still went ahead, frowned upon the law, and then behind your backyard, gathered a few church people and said, I've been installed leader. You sit there and call yourself leader when that thing is an illegality, and say that a day that has been approved by the king of our kingdom, Ashanti, who has been a very close personal friend of my father and has given all the direction and all the support, that you, this small boy, you sit there and said, I've called it off. Please, you should give us a break.
Okay, so the challenge is there, which you have outlined. But then we are told of what was entailed in your dad's will on the roadmap for the funeral and who's supposed to organize the funeral. Are you going strictly according to what is stated in the will, or you are going according to your own will?
I'm going according to the last words that was spoken to me by my late father. The question Ghanaians should ask my brother and that part of the family, the patrilineal side, which we are Ashantis and we are matrilineal. So the matrilineal family and the children, customarily, we are supposed to bury our father. That will they're talking about, when a will is read, and you can check from any lawyer that you believe has integrity and has practiced enough and has good standing at the bar. I have done 24 years at the bar. When a will is read, you need to go in for a probate. You need to apply to the court. There needs to be an application for a probate. A probate is what gives you authority, or whoever is the executor, the authority to implement whatever it is in the will. And that is a whole process at the law court. So the old man has been lying there for close to 1 year, and we have all been part of it, gathering, putting in all our efforts to bury him. And because you open one will, you want to cancel everything when that will is not even effective. As at the time you're claiming to have authority to do anything. Does it really make sense? And you want to go through a whole court process that will take about 6 months, and the old man will still be lying there because you want to be the King Kong and say, I'm the only person who buried my father. No, even at customary law, matrilineal inheritance, matrilineal lineage, one person does not bury. And there's case law. Our customary law does not state one person bury. We are not white people. We are African people, and we have a setting. So if you go to the court right now and say, single-handedly, I'm the one to bury, what the court will ask is, the person, where is he from? Do they have the matrilineal system, or do they have the patrilineal? If it's matrilineal, is the matrilineal the immediate family, the children, and if there's a wife, they are to bury. And they can contest that in court, and I'm ready for them. But that will that he's standing on, it is not effective until there is a probate application that is granted by the court that will give effect to that will. And we don't have time to wait for him to do all that. And number two, I did not steal my father's dead body. Excuse my language. My father called me and gave me specific instruction. On his dying bed, why was he not the one beside him when he gave his last breath? Why was he not the one beside him? You should ask those questions. Was he on good terms with his father? Would he even visit him in the hospital? So if you say Adjoa has the body, Adjoa doesn't want to release the body, Adjoa is taking this, Adjoa is planning. He called for me when he was ill. I took him to the hospital. I was there with my other siblings. He never asked me to call any family from his patrilineal side. He didn't call for you, who you claim you are the one who is to bury him now. And so I took my father. He had his last breath in my arms, and I single-handedly took him to the morgue. So if he thinks that he wants to bury, the question I want to ask him, what was his relationship with his father? If indeed he wanted him to bury, as he claims in the will, because the will was a 2022 will. The constitutional amendment my father did was in 2024. He wasn't healthy enough in 2025. He battled a lot of ailments in 2025. So it is my firm belief that if he had the strength beyond 2025, probably he would have changed that will, because that will is premised on the earlier constitution, probably when you were in his good book. But as at the time of my father's death, you were not in his good books. You couldn't even come to the hospital. He never sent for you to give any instructions about his burial. So I am burying on the 30th of July. We have the stamp from Menchia that we have the green right to bury him on the 30th. And that's going to be at Gomoy Potter. And I want to remind him and his tax that they are under a bail bond. And that bond is to be of good behavior. So if they have any intention of coming there or Independence Square on the 31st or 8th of August in Kumasi Central Assembly Hall to cause any mayhem, he should be reminded that he is under bond to be of good behavior. And we have informed all the law enforcement agencies to provide us with the number of security men they can so that he and his tax cannot come and shoot at me 48 times again. And this time, maybe God might not save me again.
Adjoa, have there been any attempts to reconcile you and your brother? Because if you go to citynewsroom.com, there's a story which is attributed to him. And he says he has made several attempts to reconcile with you, but it has been unsuccessful. And I quote, he says, I have made every effort to reconcile with my sister. I spoke to some former presidents, chief, church elders, and traditional leaders, but all these attempts failed. I even drove to her house myself in an effort to seek reconciliation, but nothing came out of it. Has there been an attempt from his side to reconcile with you as a family so you deal with this matter once and for all?
My brother, number one, ask him which house he drove to, because I don't know whether he even knows where I live. The last time I met my brother, there's a video out there that he was thanking me about school fees for his kids and then blowing me kisses and saying the kids were happy. That was 3 weeks before the incident. And he drove to my office. That wasn't my house. I need to correct that. Maybe he saw it was so cozy, he thought it was my house. That was my law office that he drove to. And that day, he told me about his problems. And I held him as a sister. And that is why I could drive to his house on that day, unarmed, without a policeman, without any security, without a driver, thinking that we have made up. And then you shoot and then order your boys to shoot at me. So I'm asking him again, which house did he drive to? The last time we spoke, and I have people who can testify to that, you came saying I should forgive you for all the things you've done. And I said, you haven't done anything to me. You had problems with your late father, but that man is gone, and that is not my mother. But you can't beg me for your what you've done or what disagreement or what forgiveness you're seeking from your dad. That is the problem with your dad. You are still my brother. So we went on, you told me about your kids, whatever. So for me, I thought we were on that same scale where there was peace, where there was reconciliation, where there was reunion. And that is why I drove to your house after you had come to my office and taking money for your kids' school fee. Yes, he did. So if you say that you've made attempts, blah, 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 you made attempts. I opened my doors to you. And the next minute, you were shooting me to death. And my kids are young. None of them have even finished high school yet. And I saw the responsibility as a mother to take care of my children. You didn't think about that. And you go around and lie through your teeth that you've made countless. He went to President Kufuor. Let me put on authority. He went to President Kufuor not to seek reconciliation. He went to President Kufuor to talk to me, to make him the leader of the church. And I said, that is not my prerogative. It is what the church members want and what your father's dying wish was. Your father excluded you, and so if you want me to, I cannot help you. That was what he went to President Kufuor to talk about. He didn't talk about reconciliation. He didn't talk about begging. He didn't talk about any offense that he offended me or anything. He went there with the prime purpose of convincing the man to convince me to make him a leader or to endorse his leadership. And I said, I cannot do that based on the amendment my father did and his specific instructions before he died. I cannot make him unless I change the constitution. And that is, I cannot change the constitution written by your late father. I cannot. So he thought that if I am not giving in to begging to making him the leader, then he has to take it by force, use violence, kill me, injure me, make me a disabled woman.
That point is well noted. But then, Ajua, are you not worried about the media, will I say, the bad press associated with this whole burial following the death of Apostle?
It is very
I'm coming. Hold on. Ajua, hold on. The many people who loved Apostle Kojo Safo, the many people who admired him, the many members of the Christo Asafo Church, and the many Ghanaians who really like him. Are you not worried that all these people are watching and listening to what is happening in the family after his death? And as a daughter of his, all that is going on, are you not worried yourself, Ajua?
And that is what I'm saying. It is embarrassing. It is a shame that one bad nut in the family wants to wash dirty linen in public, wants to be the loud one out there, wants to be the person engaging the media all the time. Meanwhile, he is not responsible. You know, I expected him to say that I am taking over, I have cancelled it. That's what I expected him to say. I'm taking over, I'll pay all the bills, all the things that, monies that have been spent, I'm taking over, and be responsible for in his life. Yet he won't do that. Any good thing that is planned, he wants to just quash it. Any good thing, every good legacy his father has left, he wants to destroy it because of one leadership position of the church. If you are cut for it, it's a calling. Leading a church and being a pastor is a calling. It's not taken by violence. It is not taken by force. If the Spirit wants to use you for God's good works, like He chose my father to use him, He will choose you no matter what. And you have to be patient. And that is exactly what I want his house to tell him. That be patient. If it is for you, and God wants you to be the one to lead the church, it will be yours. But don't force your way through it. Don't, I don't even know. Put your way through it, through violence, through anything, any means that you think you can. That way, you are rather going to disgrace yourself. And so the truth be told, yes, it is very embarrassing. We all have to bow our heads down in shame. But sometimes you see, if you're tired of what you want, you they have tried so much to tarnish my reputation. They have tried so much to tarnish my image. I just suffered this. I just suffered that. I am the eldest of the father and my father's children. My father even calls me Avle, which means I am his mother. He named me after his mother. You don't want to show any little respect to your elder sister. When I talk, you don't listen. You think you can be a leader because behind your door or behind your house where you are rearing chickens and calling yourself a poultry farmer, and other people and say I've been installed and so I'm a leader, you go and sit there and talk rubbish. No, you can't do that. And somebody ought to put him in check that he cannot do that. The man, that is why one time I engaged the media and said, the man did not die intestate. He died testate. He died with a will. He gave specific instructions. So now you have a will. Go and take the authority that gives you the power to implement or execute everything in the will. You will bury your father. When you're done with it, go and do whatever. So the question I want to ask myself, the same road that said you are head of the family that you want to bury now. The same road left that leadership position open that we should go and choose from his son. So if you were the leader, why didn't your father put it in the will? That part he doesn't want to share with the media. Again, when my father died, he came dancing this at what dance? I don't know whether you people understand when we dance and speak at the same time. He conquered the left, he conquered the right, he conquered the middle and put it on his chest and put it under his armpit. Meaning that everything that my father owns is for him. We go and open the will, and now he's disappointed. So he's so disappointed in what he saw in the will that people that are not biological children of my father, which he told me about, that he came for his people, he came for his church people, he would sacrifice anything for them. He opens the will, the man gives 60% of his estate to children who are orphans, who have served him, whose parents have helped him to put up the Christian formation of Ghana, and given all the monies that he thinks should have gone into his bank accounts to these orphans, to these children. I have seen people media men refer to these children as house helps. They are not house helps. My father treated them equally as his children, and they served him to the best of their ability.
Okay.
My father gives 60% to them, and now he's disappointed. He wants to call off what? A funeral. I would give my father a befitting funeral.
Right.
If he thinks he's disappointed and he wants to cancel. You know, he set a date for his funeral on the 25th of June. And that's why sometimes Ghanaians and media people, when the mother comes, you don't want to refer to the past. It is only the present. My same brother sat in my same father's house at Haifa, the same place he's calling off our funeral, and said that he has set a date, 25th of June, he's going to bury my father. We were all calm. I said, give him the opportunity. Let's all work together. Maybe he's going to put up a tent and everything. We'll all dress up and be his guest. We sat there, 25th June passed. He did not even mount one tent or even arrange 3 chairs to host one person there. 25th is gone and passed. He did not organize his funeral. Ours that has been approved by Otumfuo. We've invested money in it. We have invited all high-level dignitaries of this country, from president to speaker to chief of staff to former president to the chief justice, everybody that matters, to all our paramount chiefs in this country. Then you sit in my father's house that you claim you own and put up a chair that I'm a leader of a church. I have cancelled it. Does it work like that? Does it make sense to anybody? It doesn't make sense to me. So I'm pleading and appealing to all sympathizers and lovers, all ministers of Christopher. This is the opportunity to pay your last respect to the man you revered so much, the man who sacrificed his life for you. Come and sympathize with us on the 30th Agumwa. It will come on. If he comes as a guest, his seat is always reserved.
Okay, Adjoa, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Sarah Adjoa Safo, former member of parliament for the Dom Kwabinya constituency and eldest child of Apostle, the late Apostle Kwadwo Safo, speaking to us. In a short while, we'll speak to the trader unions because they are unhappy with the shipping lines over some charges. But then before we go to them, let's just stay with the Apostle Kwadwo Safo issue and speak to Dr. Sian Kisi. He's a member of the funeral planning committee for Apostle Kwadwo Safo's funeral. Doc, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Which committee are you a member of?
I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I'm not just a member of the committee. I am a royal family member of Apostle Kwadwo Safo from Asunya, Guyana Royal in Asunya. So I'm not just a committee member. I am the nephew to the Abusiampeni of the Guyana Kotoko family.
Okay, so what is your role in the funeral preparation?
Yeah, so I'm the secretary to the family. So my role is, like you mentioned, is the co-chair person for the funeral committee. I was quite amazed about the way my daughter made me submission. I am very, very, very surprised. So I don't know if you can give me the opportunity to reply some of the things that she said.
You are in disagreement with some of the things that she said?
Very, 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 very disagreement with her. And I'm very surprised of some of the things that he's saying now. Sincerely. One, let me talk about, if you give me the opportunity, let me talk about the 25th June that he made mention. 25th June was not decided by the brother as he suggested. 25th June, let me tell you the truth. She was the one who came to the family to tell us that he had a dream from the father that we should have the funeral on 25th June. And my Abusuapeni and some of the members of the family even escorted her to go to Otumfuo to deliver the date. My brother, I don't know whether you are from Akan community or you are from Ashanti region. Otumfuo don't set date for funeral. It's on record. You will set a date, then you go and inform Otumfuo that this is the date that I've set. And mostly you even give 2 dates. Then I will look at it. And sometimes Otumfuo will even tell you that I don't have my own, I don't have the, I cannot sit down and say I'll come or not. All will be determined by my council. So Otumfuo never, it has never happened in Asante region where your family member will die and Otumfuo is the one who will set the date for you. It is not true. It is not true. She was the one. What we observe is that our daughter, Adwa Safo, will always come. Oh, my family members, I will say, this is the date I want us to. And as a family, we try as much as possible to come together so that whatever day that we set will favor each of us. But we realize that you bring the day today, the time, getting to the time, you will not hear anything from her. That you even come to the family for us to discuss. Then we'll bring another date. That is what she has been doing. So we decided that the date that he has brought, that was the 25th June, we will not change that date. To the sense that he had a meeting with even the church. Maybe let your people, go to the church and find out whether they don't have a minute on that. So the family decided that no, we will not wait for our daughter keep on changing date because we gave him that kind of opportunity. So myself, as a secretary, then Abu Sapir and the rest of the family decided to have a meeting with the children, which we informed her, and she don't attend that meeting. We had the meeting at the father's house. Our family member, Apostle Kojosafo's house, at Taifa. She did not come. Junior, the last born, came. Joshi came. Nana Kofra came. And the rest of the family were there. So all the family members decided that, no, we'll go by the 25th. And that 25th is what we are going to do. We are going to do the Dotiye. In Akano, we say Dotiye. That is the time for burial. So at the meeting, at the end of the meeting, I told Junior, that he mentioned, the last born, that I want all of us to sign a signature so that it will prove that all of us, including Abu Shapeni, agree that we have the date, the funeral, the burial service, which is Dotiye, on 25th. And we all decided that we have the press conference on the next, on next Monday.
Okay, Doc. Okay, Dr. Kisi. So yes. Is the funeral coming on the 30th, 31st, and the 8th of August as advertised?
I want to state a category that the family is not aware of any date. She has not sat down with any family member to decide. I'm sure you people should observe that anytime he goes out to invite people, he goes there with his brothers. And the man is from the family. So the family is not aware of this date. We are not aware of any date. He sat in her office, set her own date. Do you know that the funeral committee is talking about is chaired by his own TA, Dr. Boache? He didn't involve any family member in the committee. Ask her. There was a time. Ask her, Dr. Kisi is the one talking. There was a time we had a meeting. The time she herself told us that she will be available. We sat down about 3 hours before she turned up. When she turned out, he only came with notebook. Then he sat the family down that me and my siblings, we have decided to. I am the one I told Honorable that, Honorable, this is not what funeral is supposed to be arranged. Even if you have certain arrangement, you should come and consult the family. So that if you agree, it's the family that we will come out and let public know that this is what the family tend to do.
Okay, Dr. Kisi, so when
can I add this?
In just 20 seconds.
Yes. He is claiming that we are paternal, some are maternal. Ask Honorable that where is he coming from? He's also his mother is Akan. So he's also maternal. So Apostle 2 is not his family member. If he's going by that, he has no locus to decide to bury our own without even informing the family. He has no locus. And sometimes you talk about inheritance, paternal, and those things. My brother, as you are there, let us be sincere. In your family.
Hello, Dr. Kisi. Hello, Dr. Kisi. I'm afraid we lost Dr. Kisi there. Dr. Philip Sion Kisi is the family secretary to the Diana Royals, also part of the Apostle Kojo Safo family. So the lawyer for the Christo Asafo mission has also called to make an intervention on the conversation. Nana Kofi Safo Kantanka is joining us now to tell us what kind of intervention that he wants to make. Council, thank you very much. What is this intervention?
Yes, and good evening to your listeners and viewers as well. Very quick one. Some of the things I will respond to, as you rightly indicated to her, that is already in court in respect of a shooting matter, so I won't belabor that point. And also, Dr. Kisi has also clarified some of the things, I also not belabor that point. But then I'll take the jugular. The constitution that Honorable is referring to, I mean the amendment, let me put on record that the amendment did not exclude Kojo Safo Akofena as being part of the trade to be considered for leadership. There is no way, if you should have a copy, you will see whether there has been an exclusion of Kojo Safo Akofena. There is nothing like that in the amendment. There is nothing like that. And you see, there is a portion whereby there is a provision in the amendment which says that the leaders of the church will be selected from among the 3 sons of the founder. Now, the Apostle Kojo Safo is not afraid of Kojo Safo Akofena. Assuming that you must admit that the amendment excluded Kojo Safo Akofena, couldn't the father have amended the portion that indicates that the leadership will be chosen from among the 3 sons of the founder? He could have amended that portion and indicated that it will be selected among just 2. The amendment never excluded Kojo Safo Akofena. It's a matter of interpretation. The previous constitution indicated that he will be an automatic leader of the church. So if had it not been the amendment, Akofena will be automatic leader of the church in the absence of his father. That means he's not contest. Nobody can contest him. Now the effect of the amendment is to the effect that now Kojo Safo Akofena will fall within the pool. He doesn't become an automatic leader of the church. That automaticity has been amended by the amendment, and now he falls within the pool. So let me clarify that. So the amendment never excluded him. He falls within the pool to be considered among the 3 sons. And she also kept mentioning that the amendment expressly repealed Article 26. The amendment never repealed Article 26. No way. The amendment repealed Article 12. And Article 12 deals with the automaticity of Akofena to become the leader. The amendment never repealed Article 26. So I'll put that on record. Also, she made mention of an injunction. I wish she could have pushed her further to indicate whether she has seen a copy of the injunction process. She's a lawyer. As she said, 24 years at the bar. Did she ever cite a copy of the injunction? There's no injunction. Not even an injunction order. There's no even an injunction application. What we saw circulating are rates of summons, just a rate of summons. No injunction application for there to be an injunction order. You could have even asked there when the injunction application was moved for there to be an order. None. So that clarification is also very important. And she made mention that she was going to a brother's house to give advice. If you file a rate and there is an injunction and you claim there is an injunction order, you are a lawyer 24 years at the bar. Leave them to do whatever they are doing, and then you bring a contempt application. Why should you go there to go and advise? The church has a lawyer, the church has a legal team. Couldn't they have advising? And even at the point that you know that a ceremony is ongoing, you are going there to do what? Let them do whatever they don't want to do. Later you bring a contempt application. So that portion, that claim that I was going there to advise is neither here nor there. That also I want to clarify.
Okay, all right. So, let me come in here. So,
yes,
where does the church stand when it comes to the funeral?
I wanted to go step by step. I think your time.
Because we are racing against time.
Yes. For the church, he is Kojo Safo Akofena is now the leader, so we should take his first statement as the position of the church, because he's the leader of the church.
Which is that the 30th, 31st, and the 8th is not recognized by the church.
Yes, because the church position, we want to go with the wishes of the father. That's why I wanted to come to the probate that she was talking about. The will contains property, which is being given to other people, and then the funeral instructions of the man. The funeral instructions of the man, you don't need probate. For you adult to decide that, oh, now I've left it, let me leave this one to my brother. You don't need probate. It's just a ruse for her to hatch on technicality for her to do that. There's no probate. You sitting there. If your father said, "Oh, when I die, I should do so and so," and the man puts that wishes in his will, should you now tell the man in his grave that your executive should go and seek probate before? It is his dying wishes. It is his funeral instruction. You don't need a probate for you to say, "I've left the body for Akofna." You don't need probate. You don't need probate. And even by the law that she's saying that when a person dies, he doesn't have control over his body, and it is true. So the person doesn't have control over his body, and then we want to honor the wishes of the man. He's a spiritual man. Even nothing at all. You should know that he's a spiritual man. This is wishes. And now you said you go against it, go and bury my father against his wishes as a spiritual man, and that the people haven't obtained probate. So how do you marry it? If after return probate, will you come back and then adhere to the spiritual wishes of your father?
Okay. All right, Council.
I had a lot to clarify, but because of time.
Because of time, Council. Thank you for the intervention. Nana Professor Safo Kantaka is lawyer for the Christo Asafo mission. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra, away from the Christo Asafo. And then let's deal with some other stories, because the trader unions in Ghana, quite a number of them, are unhappy with what they describe as disregard to the judgments of Ghana's court. A statement coming in from the Ghana Union of Traders Association is demanding the immediate compliance with the High Court's ruling on the container administrative charges. We'll go for a break. When we come back, we speak to Mr. Clement Boateng, who is the president of GUTA, and also speak to some other trader unions on this matter.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know that feeling when you're getting ready for work. Your shirt is still crumpled and the iron is just starting to warm up. Or you're late for the wedding and now about to blow dry your hair. Or you have just stocked up meat for the cold store and then suddenly, light off. Life just keeps getting paused. But what if your roof, yes, your roof, could keep things running in your homes and businesses? With EcoBank ASAP, you can switch to solar now by getting a loan to buy solar power systems with no upfront cost and easy repayment. Power your life through EcoBank's vetted solar vendors and lower your power bills over time.
Take back your power with EcoBank ASAP. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
These days, some mattresses are being made from all kinds of unsafe materials that are not fit for sleeping surfaces. These materials may be cheap, but they can be harmful to your health. If you haven't slept well, you cannot work and think well, and you are ultimately putting your health at risk, which can cause you a lifetime discomfort and chronic pain. As responsible citizens, we should invest in safe, durable, and certified mattresses. Latex Foam remains the tried and tested brand we all love for almost 60 years now. They offer you unmatched quality and durability for every Ghanaian home. Talk to them on 0302-231-155 in Accra and 03220-29365 in Kumasi for all your inquiries, or walk into any of their outlets nationwide for your preferred choices. Do not settle for less. Go for quality, but Latex Foam, or else you do yourself. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting.
Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today.
Oh, but you
relax.
Momo day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move.
Spot there.
Ah, Charlie, you sure say you dey pay back?
Yes, so
that anytime somebody else they need them, Momo day. Be like I can't borrow some more.
Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself.
Allah, motion.
Responsible borrowing with a real Flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo day.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Yeah, welcome back. You're listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. I'm still urging you to send your WhatsApp messages to the number 0539-986-996, 0539-986-996. Send them and read it out to you during the talkback segment of Eyewitness News. Let's do some other story, because the Ghana Union of Traders Association is unhappy with what they describe as disregard to the country's the country's laws. Because according to them, there's a court judgment on the operations of shipping lines in this country and some charges they are purported to be putting on shippers in this country. Let's get more on this and speak to Clement Boateng. He's the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Mr. Boateng, thank you very much for your time. And sincere apologies for keeping you all these while. But what really is your problem with the shipping lines?
Yeah, good evening, Sammy, and thank you for having me. Yes, like we have rightly issued this statement. It's all about what we call container administrative charge. This container administrative charge has a history, behind it. Some years back, when the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority were not having enough logistics and the machinery, to be doing stevedoring work at the port. These shipping lines, who carry our cargo from wherever we load our cargo to Ghana here, to our ports, we're doing this services, and so therefore there was the need, for some token to be paid as far as those works that they were doing are concerned. So there was a fee of $10 that we were paying. But of late, those fees, have gone up to between 3,000, 3,500 for a 40-footer container, and then 1,500 to between 2,000 for a 20-footer container. And per the new act of the Shippers Authority, Act 1122/2024, as a regulator of the shipping industry, they are also mandated, to prescribe fees and charges for the shipping lines and the shipping industry as a whole. So they initially, came up with a fee of 550 Ghana cedis, which this shipping lines objected to. That no, they still want to charge those outrageous fees that they are charging. So there was a meeting, between the shipping lines, the business community, that is the traders, Shippers Authority, and then the Minister of Transport with the Minister of Transport, sitting in the meeting. Series of meetings were convened, and at the end of it all, the minister, suggested that they should, raise the fee to 720 Ghana cedis. We all complied, and then we left, the meeting. After leaving the meeting, before we realized, these shipping lines, have gone to court, restraining the shipping authority from enforcement and implementation of this charge. So they went to court, and at the end of it all, the judge said that the Shippers Authority are the ones that the law, mandates them to prescribe any fee for the shipping industry, and so therefore the shipping line are obliged to, accept that 720 cedis that the Shippers Authority have, prescribed for we the importers to pay. After the court has, made that pronouncement, the shipping lines are still refusing to collect this 720 Ghana cedis, and still insisting collecting their old fee of between 3,000 and 3,500 for the 40-footer, and then 1,500 and 2,000 for the 20-footer container. So we think that these shipping lines are flouting the laws of Ghana, because once the court, has made pronouncement, they have to comply with the court's order. But we don't understand why they are refusing to comply with the court order and insisting that they want to collect their old fees. What they are saying, which is even annoying, is that they have not received any orders from their principals abroad for them to take that 720. So as far as they are concerned, they will still be collecting their old fee. And we think it's a blatant disregard of the law. And that's why Guta has issued that statement and has called in the authorities to make sure that the court order is being, implemented to the latter.
Okay, Mr. Boateng, just hold on for me. Let me also engage Michael Obiri Ejay, Executive Secretary, Exim Frozen Foods Association of Ghana. Mike, you also share the same concerns? And how is this affecting your operations?
I do. Good evening to your cherished listeners, to yourself, and then to my senior brother, Clement. I think that he stated the most of the history. Only to say that I just want to add a few things before I talk about how it affects us. That beyond the history of this container administrative charges, in other jurisdictions where they even allow the charges are in local currency. In our instance, the charges are in dollars, and then they would look at the prevailing dollar rate and then do the conversion for you. Beyond that, in other jurisdictions, the charges, even where they pay them, the charges are per BL. So you could have maybe 20 containers on your BL, you could have 30 containers on your BL. In other jurisdictions, the charges are per BL. In Ghana, these same shipping lines are charging you per container. So if you have 20 containers on a BL, they would charge you, and there are 20-footer containers, they would charge you $140 times 20. Whereas in other jurisdictions, the same shipping line would charge you, let's say, maybe some $10, $20 for your whole BL. And so for us, like all traders share this concern, it is increasing the cost of doing business. But you see, it is also more telling because it appears that the shipping lines do not have regard for the Ghanaian systems, institutions at all. Previously, the Shippers Authority had the power to negotiate the charges under the previous act. Under Act 1122, the Shippers Authority has the authority to approve the charges. So it is not just about the negotiation. The Shippers Authority now has added powers to say this charge is approved or disapproved. They have approved a charge of 750 Ghana cedis. So in our local currency, it will not matter what the exchange rate is for us to pay. The Shippers Authority, the shipping lines, like Mr. Clement said, attempted to arrest that directive by going to court for a judicial review, and they applied for an injunction. The court didn't grant that injunction and says that the Shippers Authority's directive is still in force until the substantive matter is determined. For the shipping lines to tell us that until they hear from their principals to adjust the fees to the directive that the regulator has given, it leaves much to be desired. I mean, it's a reprehensible conduct, and it is one that we are calling, and that's why we're calling on the Shippers Authority to use the tools that we have given them in Act 1122, that they should sanction these shipping lines because they have the power. If you go to Section 36 of the new Act, the Act 1122, the Shippers Authority has the power to sanction shipping lines that are non-compliant. Since the ruling was delivered, shipping lines are still charging our people. Some would have to protest, and so they would have to pay demurrage. Why do we have to be in our own country? And I dare say that no Ghanaian business owner can travel out of this jurisdiction and set up a business in another country and will fail to comply with their regulations. You dare not. These shipping lines will not have us dare to do the things that they want to do in this country, in their country. Why should the shipping to the Shippers Authority sit aloof, and like I'm not saying they're just sitting aloof. They've done something, they've issued directives, but they must go beyond the directives.
Okay.
They must sanction the shipping lines. And we want to see the Minister for Transport give public support to the GSE to bring these shipping lines, this recalcitrant shipping lines
to order. Okay, let me go back to let me go back to Mr. Boateng. Mr. Boateng, how is this affecting your business?
Yeah, it's affecting our business, like my brother rightly said. It's adds to the cost of doing a business, and like we all know, government has done its best. Government wants to reduce the cost of doing business, and so therefore, if we leave this shipping lines to be charging this outrageous fees, it's definitely going to add to the cost of doing business. And no businessman is a Father Christmas. Every cedi or every cost that a businessman incurs will definitely add to his cost build up, and then will be transferred to the consumer to pay. And then we don't want this thing to happen, because the Ghanaian consumer is already overstretched. Their purchasing power is low, and so we don't want to add more cost to the Ghanaian consumer, and that is the reason why we are calling for the authorities, to make sure that the court order is adhered to.
Mr. Boateng, thank you very much. Michael, I also say thank you very much for your time. Michael Obri,
you're welcome. Thank you very much for
Boateng, President of GUTA. Let's bring in Professor Ransford Jampo. He's the CEO of the Ghana Shippers Authority. He's also joining the conversation. Prof, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. GUTA and other unions are unhappy in respect of what they describe as blatant disregard of the court order for the shipping lines. Has this come to your attention, and what do you intend to do about this, sir?
Well, we gave that regulatory directive that the shipping lines should cut their container administrative charge in the interim to a rate of around 65, the equivalent of $65 from the over $165 that they were charging. And after giving that directive, they decided to take us to court to injunct us from doing that. We went to court to argue it out, and the judge upheld our position and said our regulatory directive should be enforced. When we came from court, we issued a public notice asking stakeholders and the shipping lines, reminding them or informing them about the fact that a certain decision has been given by the courts. Subsequently, our monitoring showed that some of the shipping lines were still charging their old rates. So we took it upon ourselves to write to all of them to warn them. But it appears that in spite of the letter we wrote to them, they are being recalcitrant. And so clearly, as the stakeholders have said, I mean, this is a blatant violation of what our regulatory, orders and what the court has also said. And in my view, again, this is a total show of gross disrespect and disregard for the laws of Ghana and for the sovereignty of the country. Yes, so Ghana Shippers Authority, we are working with the stakeholders. We are not sitting aloof at all. In fact, we are scheduled to go to court today. But unfortunately, we are told that the court was celebrating 150 years anniversary or so. So all court sittings were postponed and all that to a later date. So we are very much well prepared to go back to court to ensure that those recalcitrant ones have been brought to book. So basically, that is that. It is quite annoying that in public space we have to be tempered in some of the things we see. But the point is that you don't, when we've all traveled before and we know how businesses are conducted in other people's country. And when we go in Rome, we do as the Romans do. when you go to other people's country, you go by their laws. And the painful thing and what displeases some of us is that these same shipping lines, they charge rates that are moderate in other West African countries. But when it comes to Ghana, it appears they have done what is wrong for a long time. And so trying to tell them that, look, we are in an era where we are all seeking to reduce the cost of doing business. We want the international trade to go on. We want to attract more people here. And we want businesses, to go on. And we don't want unnecessary cost passed on to the ordinary Ghanaian, consumer. And so some of these things would have to be reviewed. But it appears that they've been in the habit of being on their own without regulation. And so once we are trying to regulate them, then we have that pushback. But we are more fired, we are more resolved to ensure that the right thing is done. So it's not giving up at all. It's very unfortunate that our court process today couldn't be held because of the anniversary celebration. But we're looking at another date that is given to us, and then we'll take them on.
Prof, have they by chance, told you why they are unable to go by the judgment of the court?
Basically, they are saying that they filed for an injunction, and they know that the injunction was thrown out, but there is also a substantive case that they think must be heard. And we quickly reminded them that in throwing out the application for injunction, the judge explicitly said that our regulatory directive to them should be enforced. And we wrote to remind them. And so it is just a deliberate misunderstanding of the ruling on their part, just to be able to do what is not right. And yes, we will fight them using every legitimate means, but we also call on the stakeholders to join forces with us to help us ensure that they do what is right.
Doc, Prof, in the event that they are still, adamant in doing this, is there a way the authority can sanction them, can punish them?
No, I told you that I think the legitimate way
is going back to the court.
Yes, we go back to the court. Whatever you tell them to do, if they are being non-compliant, it's the court that will have to go to get more punitive pronouncements, from them. And so that's what we're seeking to do, in fact, this morning. And then we're told that events have been postponed. So we are, and the judges themselves, they are also statesmen, stateswomen, they are patriotic people. And so I'm sure they are hearing some of these things that you are saying. We'll continue to knock at their doors that, look, we want expeditious hearing on some of these things so that we bring finality and effective regulation to the industry.
Prof, thank you very much for your time. Professor Ranford Jampo is the CEO of the Ghana Shippers Authority. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Eyewitness News is live from our studios. Remember, it's also live on our affiliates across the country. In the Western region, we are live on Adriampa 100.7 FM in Takwa, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrady. In the Bono region, we are live on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, hear us on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.3 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are live on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajuvu and VOV Radio 95.7 FM in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we are live on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, we are live on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. We're also in the Upper West region, we are live on Tonson 97.3 FM. In the Northeast region, we are live on Radio Jumbode 107.3 FM. Let's still stay on this matter. Joining us is the executive member of the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, Adam Moro Ayana, to speak to us on this conversation in terms of their decision to disregard the High Court judgment on the fees they're supposed to charge. Adam, thank you very much. What do you have to say about these accusations that you have decided to disregard the court order or the court judgment as far as these charges are concerned?
Good evening to you and everyone who is listening. Thank you for reaching out. I'm not a legal expert, so I'll be very careful what I say from the legal front, but we are acting on the instructions and advice of our lawyers to remain circumspect because the issues are now in the legal terrain. But what I can say is that members would always be law-abiding. And I think, like I've always said, in the maritime industry and in, I'm sure, every other business, dialogue is key. And we are still in dialogue with the Ghana Shippers Authority. We respect them as the authority. And I think cool heads should just come to the party so that we can resolve this issue that keeps coming up every time. I mean, ultimately, what is it about? It's about somebody delivering a service at a certain level, and someone also saying, maybe an authority also saying, maybe you have to look at it, and we have to come to some kind of compromise. That I agree, but we have to sit around the table and judge, and we will continue to dialogue with Ghana Shippers Authority. Thank you.
But then they said that you have decided to just ignore the judgment and you are still doing your own thing despite a judgment from the court. Is it that you don't respect the laws of this country?
I don't know if you heard me right. I said we are acting on the advice of our legal representatives.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know if that agree. Interpretation is that we are ignoring court order or
Adam,
not. I
agree. But then
that.
from the Shippers Authority and from GUTA and the association, this is a clear court judgment and it must be respected. And they say even after the judgment, you are still charging these fees even though the court has told you to stop. So anybody will say that it means you are disregarding the court judgment. That's what I mean.
Yes, thank you. Like I'm saying that the members are law-abiding companies, registered in Ghana, and they respect every law. So I would plead for people to just hasten slowly. Let's get to this first dialogue table or whatever, legal issue or whatever. I hope we'll not even get to, get entangled into all these legal issues. But so we'll come to some amicable understanding and appreciation. Then everybody would appreciate the service that is being done by our members, the service that is being offered also by Ghana Shippers Authority, and then also, the service that we give to the trading public. At the end of the day, we shouldn't forget that the customers are our customers also, even first. And every shipping line is actually in the market looking for clients. So at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, and there are competitors also in the industry. So please, we should give dialogue a chance, and I think we'll get there, and this issue would not be hanging, and Ghana will be the winner.
Adam, thank you very much. Adam Imo Ayana is the executive member, Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. We're still expecting more of your WhatsApp messages. The number to send to 0539-986-996. 0539-986-996. That's where we read your messages to you during the talkback segment on Eyewitness News. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we have more stories.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
New address, new standard, new way to live in Laboni. Introducing Moonbow Laboni from Val Real Estate. Africa's Gate to Real Estate, an iconic mixed-use development where refined architecture, premium amenities, and an exceptional location come together to create more than just a home. It creates a lifestyle, beautifully designed studio and one-bedroom residences, world-class amenities, a prestigious Leboni address, and an investment built for tomorrow. Launch prices start now and are available for a limited time. Experience Moonbow Leboni, because some places are more than meets the eye. To reserve your apartment today, call 0800-888-888. Val Real Estate, Africa's Gate to Real Estate.
You know that feeling. A hospital bill that arrives out of nowhere. A diagnosis you weren't prepared for. A system that seems designed to confuse you and costs that keep climbing. And the stress of not knowing if you are protected. Eden isn't lost. Eden Care was created to give it back to you. Eden Care is health insurance made for everyday family life. With Eden Care, getting health care is easy and you are backed by a trusted insurance partner with years of experience. No confusing terms, just complete protection for your entire family. Step back into peace. Step into experience you can rely on. Reach out right now at 059-692-1844 and choose Eden Care today. Eden Care is brought to you by Acacia Health Insurance, a member of the Enterprise Group.
HR is evolving. Are you ready? Join industry leaders, HR professionals, and business executives at HR Connect Conference 2026 for powerful conversations on transforming HR into a true driver of business growth and competitive advantage in Africa. The theme: from certification to competence, why elevating HR is critical for business growth and competitive advantage in Africa. The date, 30th and 31st of July 2026 at the Labadi Beach Hotel at 9 a.m. daily. Tickets are going for 2,000 Ghana cedis only. HR Connect Conference 2026. Connect, learn, lead, and transform.
Hello, good afternoon. I am calling from your bank. We are currently experiencing a system downtime, so we need to secure your account. Please, can you confirm your account number and your login details so we can restore access immediately? Yes, your username and password, just to verify.
Beware of fraudsters. Your bank will never ask for your login details, PIN or password over the phone. Shine your eye. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Association of Banks.
If you spot the fraud, you go fit to stop the fraud. Make you know that it's gone.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Welcome back. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Let's do some more stories because the Institute of Community Sustainability has announced plans to seek legal redress at the Supreme Court to compel the enforcement of laws prohibiting the slaughter and consumption of dogs and cats in the country. In a statement issued in Accra, the organization said it is seeking a strict enforcement of Section 303 of the Criminal Offences Act as amended by the Criminal Code Amendment Act 1998, which criminalizes the illegal slaughter and consumption of dogs and cats. Let's get more on this. Joining us is Eric Jerry Edu, Executive Director, Institute of Community Sustainability. Mr. Edu, what kind of action are you seeking at the Supreme Court? And give us more details. You said we shouldn't consume dogs and cats again?
Yeah, thank you very much. I want you to good evening to your fellow your listeners and the viewers. As you know, dogs and cats, these animals are our family. They are not made to be consumed. That's why in Ghana we have a law that is protecting these animals. In Ghana here, we have a lot of animal farm. We have milk farming, we have sheep farming, we have all kind of members. If you dog farming or cat farming, ask yourself, so those people who are eating family members, where are they getting it from? These days,
Mr. Edu, your line is a bit cranky. If you can position yourself, well, I'll be glad.
Somebody has to move your car tape and they are breaking straight into your car to take your valuable assets because people are consuming the innocent dogs on our streets, in our houses, and the cats. You understand? That's why sometimes when you are in your house, you can hear dogs are barking. Not that the dog is barking the person. The dog is alerting you that somebody is coming to your house that you don't know. So you have to stand up, or you have to be alert or anything like that. But in Ghana these days, you don't see those things. People are killing people, killing innocent dogs and cats. And my brother, if you see the way they kill these innocent dogs and cats, now it's not easy. That's why we are going to Supreme Court that maybe the Constitution, that section, that is a 25 penalty unit, maybe it seems like people are not taking it serious. They want to go to Supreme Court and tell the Supreme Court that the court, these 325 penalty units that we have, so people are consuming these innocent dogs and cats. So can you put in ban on it so that nobody eating dogs and cats in Ghana here becomes illegal? These dogs and cats are our family. They are innocent. They are no animals to be consumed. You understand? The way people eat cats and dogs is too much. And the problem, the biggest problem we are having is, you know, when you go to the cow and goat, when you go to abattoirs, we have a veterinary there. They normally check the animals if they are healthy before they slaughter them. So these dogs, a lot of them are having rabies, and they can live for so many diseases. You understand? And these days, people are even consuming bulldogs and bulldogs. You understand? And another most painful thing is our women. When it comes to Greater Accra, when you take 100 women there, 55% of them either consume dog or cat. And these animals are our family. We don't have to consume them. That's why we're heading straight to court.
Mr. Edo, what about chicken, rabbits, and the other animals that people also kill? Are you not considering those ones as well? Or your focus is just on cats and dogs?
Our focus is on cats and dogs. Even in the Bible, God told him, Abel, go and use sheep to use for sacrifice. He didn't tell you. Even the God, the Tigali Kung Fu and those dangerous, our gods are no longer eating dogs. Some of them are even eating chicken and those things. Dogs and cats, they have a soul. And the way you kill a cat is not the same. The way you kill a fowl, it's not the way people kill dogs and cats. People put water and a sardine on this. It's really terrible and cruel way. And you know, dogs and cats are family. You understand? Somebody will say, oh, it's our culture. There's no culture in Ghana here that says that everybody, if you are from this tribe, you have to eat dogs and cats. It's a turkey. It's a throat and tasty and taste to eat animals by heart. But they were eating dogs and cats. So why should we eat dogs and cats? These innocent animals. Because of throat and turkey and taste. No culture. That says that we should eat dogs and cats. Go away.
But if you go to the Supreme Court and you get the order, are you not depriving some people of their favorite meat?
No, we are protecting our family members. Dogs and cats is our family members. We are protecting these innocent animals. That's why even the government, the government is saying, we are doing Mbogam Ketenkete or India one Ketenkete, but we have to go on Ketenkete. The government is already to introduce a Kokon Ketenkete that we are going to get in Kuko to chew. You understand? Not in Mbogam Ketenkete or in Kaman Ketenkete. So we have a taking there. I'm not depriving anybody, but these are our security, our companions, that we have to protect them, not to eat them. And this taking it's too much. Everything fits, I want to chew. And it's too much. One day you go to market, your wife will come, oh, my friend, what did you pay? Oh, I prefer some good soup. Maybe one day you end up chewing Bodomnam or Jamanam. How? No, we have to protect these innocent animals. They are our family. They are no animals to be consumed. And we have to protect these innocent souls.
Mr. Edu, do you chew meat?
Yes, I do.
Which ones?
I chew chicken.
But it is killed before you consume it.
Right, I consume it because can you compare the way they kill cats and dogs to how they kill chicken? No. This will tell you that the cat and dog, their soul is very special. That you cannot kill them easy. You see the way they kill them, this will tell you something that this animal is not, they are family. You can't just kill them like that. You can't just have to throat and taste for a dog and cat. No. See the way they kill them. My brother, have you seen the way they kill dogs and a cat before? Then have you spent money taking care of your dog and cat? To be a young bottom down. To be a young bottom with your mother. When you see somebody killing dog and cat, you will not spare that person.
Are you only worried about how they are killed? That's why you are going to the Supreme Court.
The kill and the way people consume them, especially our women, the way they consume them, it's our problem. You understand?
But Mr. Edu, how do you know women consume them more? How do you know?
Then, you know, it's in ICS, we do research, we conducted our research. And the research we conducted, when you take 100 women, 45% of them consume dogs. Yes. You understand? And that's why you see these days, you go outside, people are Friday night, you will see these aborted people. Ask them, what did they get? Ask them if they have a permit. If you to sell a chicken guy and kebab in the street, you have to get a permit. Ask them if they have some. Somebody will go and kill the dogs and they will shoot and our sisters and they consume them. And the ladies, they know. They eat dogs and cows. They eat dogs and cats. Especially the head, they will tell you, remember some time ago, we conducted a test, and when you tell me from the age, when you chew a dog meat, it will be difficult for you to have a broken heart. And you are going to, no man can play with your heart when you eat a dog. That's their belief. That's a lot of people, and some of the pastors and the spiritual leaders are telling them, hey, you have to consume dog. When you consume dog, no man can talk with your heart. So many funny things.
Okay.
They are killing this innocent animal.
All right, Mr. Edu, thank you. Thank you. I wish you all the best at the Supreme Court. Thank you.
Yes, I'm inviting you also to join us. We are going to North to do campaign. So prepare yourself. You have to go and tell Akinga that dog is our family. You have to tell Ifo that is our family. You have to tell Sena and Adete and Akoli and Kofi and Mesa that dogs and cats are our family. They are not animals to be consumed. They have to protect this innocent animal.
Mr. Edu, thank you. Thank you. The point is well made. Thank you very much. Eric Jerry Edu, Executive Director, Institute of Community Sustainability. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Now Shika Caesar is here. Now so is here to give us the latest in the world of business. Hello.
Hi, Samuel.
What's the details? What do you have?
Today we still remain on the market price barometer. Today they will tell you about how protein and fresh produce fared in the July food basket.
Give us the details.
Prices across the protein and fresh produce basket presented a mixed picture in July, with declines in garden eggs, fresh tilapia and carrots helping to cushion households against the sharp rise in live chicken prices, according to the latest Channel 1 market price barometer. The July data shows that while improved supply continued to moderate prices for some fresh produce, higher costs in the poultry and red meat segments point to persistent cost pressures within the nutrition basket.
The biggest increase was recorded in live chicken prices. The average price jumped from 186 Ghana cedis in June to 215 Ghana cedis in July, an increase of 15.6%, reversing the decline recorded the previous month. On the other hand, garden eggs became more affordable, with prices falling by 8.5% from 82 Ghana cedis to 75 Ghana cedis per 4.5 liter bucket. Carrot prices also eased, dropping by 4.8% from 21 Ghana cedis to 20 cedis for 4 average-sized pieces. Fresh tilapia recorded a slight decline, with 4 average-sized fish selling for 102 Ghana cedis, down from 103 Ghana cedis in June. Meanwhile, red meat prices edged higher. Beef with bones increased from 78 Ghana cedis to 80 Ghana cedis per kilogram, while goat meat rose from 96 Ghana cedis to 98 Ghana cedis per kilogram. Prices of cabbage, green pepper, and oranges remained unchanged during the month. Overall, the July Channel 1 market price barometer indicates that while lower prices for some vegetables and fish are providing modest relief for consumers, rising poultry and meat prices continue to drive up the cost of protein.
That data was compiled by the Channel 1 TV Research Desk and the Channel 1 Market Price Barometer, tracking the price movements across Accra. Moving on, the Center for Policy Scrutiny says several of government programs are being under-delivered despite claims of strong performances across key targets in the first half of 2026. The policy think tank maintains that the 2026 budget continues to reflect a tight fiscal stance, disputing the government's position that it had exceeded most of its fiscal benchmarks during the period under review. Presenting the Centre's assessment of the 2026 Media Budget Review, Executive Director Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie said execution gaps across a number of expenditure and policy initiatives suggest that budget implementation has not matched reported fiscal outcomes.
The material evidence shows that most of the government programs were under-delivered, resulting in reduced outputs and outcomes in relation to the set targets. For example, 19.4% allocation for Big Push in the year 2025 was not fulfilled, and 9% so far has not been fulfilled in the half year of 2026. Similarly, in 2025, NDPC also realized that the National Apprenticeship Program fell short, the allocation fell short by about 45%, similar to the Jumawira program also fell short by 20%. Now, this persistent implementation gap, suggests a challenge in budget execution in terms of missed revenue projections and missed financing. In our next graph, we are showing the foreign project loans. The blue for projected, the red for actual. The entire year for the year 2025, you see a shortfall, very big deviation. Half year of 2026, similar story. What are the reasons for the reduction in the project loans? Number one, since 2022, the government of Ghana has lost access to the international capital market, but now things are better.
Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie is Executive Director of the Center for Policy and Scrutiny. Now, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, FABAC, says consumer prices for made-in-Ghana juices will drop subject to certain economic conditions. The government last week announced plans to scrap the 20% excise duty on locally produced fruit juices to lower production costs and reduce consumer prices starting November 2026. In a City Business News interview, the General Secretary of FABAC, Samuel Attah-Mensah, said the proposed reduction can only be enjoyed in the absence of new taxes and a hike in fuel prices.
If you are producing locally as a manufacturer within the fruit juice space and this value-added additions, what it means is that you will not pay taxes of that 20%. So invariably what it means is that prices will go down moving forward, maybe somewhere around November 2026, where stability will still be maintained. So if we are able to enjoy that, then it means that there will not be any introduction of new levies, new taxes, electricity costs going up, and petrol also being reduced to augment the growth that we anticipate. Otherwise, what it means is that even when the 20% has been given, yes, still the prices will go up, and that 20% will not be enjoyed.
Samuel Attah-Mensah is the General Secretary of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Now, Telecel Ghana has launched its Mahete promotional campaign, a customer rewards initiative designed to deepen customer engagement and reward subscribers with cash prizes. The campaign offers customers the chance to win daily, weekly, and monthly cash prizes as the telecommunications company intensifies efforts to strengthen customer loyalty and enhance value for subscribers. Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the launch, Telecel Ghana's Sales and Distribution Director Samuel Attah-Mensah said the promotion reflects the company's commitment to rewarding customers for their continued patronage while delivering an enhanced customer experience.
Today we launched a national promotion called Mahete. What we intend doing is to appreciate our customers and potential customers, I must say. And with this promo, the objective is to reward 12,000 customers within the country. Every day, 100 of our customers will be given 100 Ghana cedis. On a weekly basis, we're going to give 20,000 Ghana cedis across the regions. It's not going to be one region, across all the regions. And every month, somebody's going to take away 1 million Ghana cedis. I repeat, 1 million Ghana cedis. And this is just not one person. It's going to happen 3 consecutive times. So for the next 3 months, somebody is going to take 1 million Ghana cedis. In total, we're going to give away 5 million Ghana cedis. It's so simple. There are just 3 options. Either you test win to 500, or you dial star 500 hash, or you go onto our Telecel app and then you can opt in there. And it's for everybody.
Samuel Sapon is the Sales and Distribution Director of Telecel Ghana. And that's it for City Business News on Eyewitness News. We have more business-related stories on our website, citynewsroom.com. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Sami, back to you.
Thank you very much, Nashisa, for bringing us that updates in the world of business. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll do Talk Back, where the views and opinions you express on the stories we brought you tonight on Eyewitness News will be read out to you.
Everybody they sell, but your shop they empty.
Where's my report?
Bro, month no end here too. But see, your pocket stop they take. Another emergency for the house?
Come get ideas. Ideas go kill them.
Another idea, another mark time. No capital to start. For some people, this silence no be peaceful. It be money matter.
With bills, there's no need for silence. From our emergency loans to salary loans to working capital loans and startup loans, Bills has you covered.
Apply with your Ghana card today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390. Bills, financing your needs. T's and C's apply.
Introducing Ghana's leading pay-as-you-copy photocopier leasing company. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty or production machine and pay for only the copies made, or design your own payment plan. Simple and tietia. That's not all. Incredibly, toners, repairs, maintenance, follow-me printing, centralized tracking all come free of charge. Remember, financial prudence is the name of the game. Folks, forget about the expensive gimmicks and be smart. Join the hundreds of satisfied clients across all the 16 regions and every sector of the economy and save over 60% of your printing costs. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Be prudent and lease a copier. Terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Up next is Talk Back. And remember, Talk Back is brought to you by Valex Lease Equip Limited. Valex Lease, affordable document management solution. Fred Jabano has joined us for the Talk Back segment on Eyewitness News. Fred.
Yes, Sammy, let's start with a mail from Akwemuf here. He says, Apostle Kojo Safo's children should come together as one and give their father a befitting burial. The man is a peaceful man. This is from a mail. Let's go to Wale Yakubu Ahmed Ibn Chamba says, Apostle Safo should be turning in his grave in abhorrence of his children throwing up his integrity to the dust, to fight tooth and nail for whatever Apostle Safo has bequeathed to his children is the worst ever way of sending the man away. And on the matter of some concerned Ghanaians seeking a court order to ban the consumption of dogs, it is a laudable action that must see the light of day at the Supreme Court. This is Mohammed Yakubu from Wale. We go to, this is from Ibrahim from Gushegu. He says, I wish and pray that the elders of Apostle Safo's family would find lasting peace between Adjoa Safo and Kojo Safo. That's from a message from Wale. We go to the next message. This is from Vera in the Eastern regions. He says, so Apostle Kojo Safo's years of struggle in Ghana has gone down the drain with his kids fighting over what I don't know. The king of Africa is being disgraced in his grave. I am heartbroken. I wish things get ironed out quickly.
Okay. Aziz also says the family of Apostle Kojo Safo should stop the needless banter and give the old man a befitting burial because the man has contributed his portion to the development of this country. Hence, we need peace, not war. That's from Aziz. Akapo in Afomem says most Ghanaians plead with both sides of the family to put aside their egos and interests to give their well-lived father and leader a befitting burial. What they are doing is going to greatly affect the great legacy of the man who was highly cherished and respected across the globe. Another one related to the Ajua Safo one. This is from Delano Agbe in Delano Agbe in Peduasi says, children and family of the late Kojo Safo should come together and stop the wrangling. The late apostle has achieved a lot and he must be given befitting burial. Fred, before you come in, Jumus Adoboyinla says, I think at this point the elders need to step in. The apostle deserves some respect. He has paid his dues and needs a perfect rest. I believe Ajua means well.
Daniel from Katamanso says commercial drivers and their mates in Ashaman have already increased transport fares from Ashaman to Atadeka, Zenu, Lebanon, and Katamanso. Abampapa indeed, Abba from Daniel in Katamanso. We go to Joseph from Bongo. Joseph said, so after the 48 bullets Ajua Safo
still hasn't changed.
So after the 48 bullets, Ajua Safo hasn't changed. This woman can exchange her life for property. It's funny how the reasons they are fighting. We the people from Oyarifa, he says, I am happy those who wanted to take the life of our beautiful former MP did not succeed. But please ask her what the legal status of the church is, because she keeps saying the father changed so and so article. So this is referring to the amendment of the constitution of the church. Wales Yoga in Abutiati in the Volta region says Ghanaians should appreciate the government's efforts to engage with transport unions by collaborating to reconsider the planned increase in fares. We can alleviate the financial burden on passengers. The dialogue fosters a more balanced approach, ensuring that the essential transport services remain accessible while addressing the concerns of drivers and operators. Let's prioritize the well-being of all commuters.
Isaac in Tamale says, Sarah Josafo, please settle this. The world is watching and is not looking good. Let the dead rest. Whatever the disagreement is, resolve it with elders. Prince Harry in Kofodia said, it is only in Ghana that you will see people fighting over dead body. Can the children of the late Apostle Kojo Safo allow their father to rest in peace? It is very sad seeing two siblings fighting over the dead body of their father. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Still staying on the Ajua Safo matter, and Colonials in Sunyani West constituency in the Bono region says Ajua and her brother should not be washing their dirty linen in public. May the departed soul of the late Safo Kantanka rest in perfect peace. And then Selassie from Manet says all is not looking good in the Safo family. There must be peace and unity first. Right?
This is from KK from the Ashanti region. He says that the best way to solve this problem is to go back to the court. Adra triggered for the will to be read, thinking it would be in her favor. And now that it's gone against her, she wants to use force to do what she wants. This is KK from the Ashanti region. This one says that Sir Law from Adenta, Mr. Edu, please, we beg you, reconsider your argument. Your argument is dead on arrival. Please reconsider it again, he says.
He's talking about the decision to go to the Supreme Court.
This is on the dog
and the cat
yes,
issue.
Tell Mr. Edu that his case should not be brought before a Dagati or an Ewa judge. This is outrageous. Does he know Apese, Ochi, and Adwa
are killed
before they end up in our dining tables? The court must even strike out the case before it's brought to it. This is Kofi from Tema.
For this story, we are getting quite a number of messages on it. someone sent one. It says, I can't believe what I am hearing. Who is this guy? Does he really want to go to the Supreme Court with this thing? I don't know for him. Another one from Mensah says, this is terrible. Who is this gentleman? He wants to go to court because of this. The Supreme Court should not waste their time on such a matter.
There's another one where it says, it seems this Jerry gentleman is the only active member of his organization. Why is he so obsessed with people who eat dogs or cats? Has his own dog or cat gone missing? He appears to have plenty of time and money to spare. Do more people eat cats and dogs than they eat cattle and chicken? Don't cows and chickens have souls too? Please remind him that emotions do not win cases in court. If he believes he has a legal case, he should let the law take its course instead of turning into a public spectacle. He should give us a break.
But well, Fred, he's basing it on the law. He said the criminal code as amended, the section 303. so Jerry, he has something he's standing on before he's going to the Supreme Court. So let's see how this matter will come, because we are going to follow it. We are going to, because it's a matter of public interest and we are going to follow it keenly. Another one from Mensah in Tema says, Sammy, I want you guys to speak to the Adwoa Safo family and tell them to calm down, because the man worked for Ghana and we do not want to see this happen as it happened during the Lumba death and subsequent burial. Well, friend,
so let me give you a last one from YouTube. This is from Wahab Ibrahim. He says, dog and cat meat. Is he saying we shouldn't chew it? This man is not real.
Interesting comment. And that's our wrap up today's edition of Eyewitness News. That came to you live from our studios here in Accra. My name is Sammy Uyafe. Show produced by Beverly London, Kwabna Wilson, and Juliana Odami, as well as Fred Tete Jabana, with technical assistance from Desmond Nyako. Earlier, you had Nashika Caesar bring us the latest in the world of business. So we'll come your way again tomorrow. May the good Lord be with us all.